Outraged Democrats, they're in a full-on meltdown, joining thousands marching in Alabama after the push to redraw voting maps just didn't go their way.
We are here because a white supremacist dictator known as President Donald Trump thought he could silence us. They thought they could stop a movement. You can rig a map, but you can't rig a movement.
They're afraid of us coming together. They're afraid of us protecting one another.
We have seen this before, where some people in black robes try to deny or take away our rights.
Yeah, about that. Fox News contributor and former Congressman Jason Chaffetz joining us now. You know, there's a lot of debate about whether or not this whole scheme, if you want to call it that, this idea that was initially started over in the great state of Texas. And let's be fair about Texas. They were doing what was right by Texas. And then, of course, California tried to get into the mix. Utah, we'll talk about that as well. But now it's all over the country. And I'm for one, thrilled that the states, in particular in the Southeast, are saying we can level the playing field, too, because if you think about the voting in the Northeast, and you guys have seen this on the map, some of those states are 45% Republican, but not when it comes to their representation.
Yeah, the back and forth, the Democrats have not been consistent on this at all.
Yeah.
The Democrats will continue to struggle from coast to coast because they lack the ideas and the common sense that resonate with the American people. They try to make it all about race. And I think America's tired of that. Certainly the Supreme Court's tired of it. They don't want to have districts drawn just based on the color of your skin. And Democrats, if you think that it's all based on the color of your skin, well, we would have a different governor of Virginia. The Steve Cohen, who's just retiring now out of the state of Tennessee, the congressman, was, you know, and in Utah, we got a pretty heavy Caucasian population. Well, we had Burgess Owens, a good, solid conservative, great guy.
Spot on.
They pushed him out.
And Mia.
Not because
tell us about Utah. I think of Utah as a red state. I mean, that's just kind of what because the folks I know from there. And but tell us, I mean, how did that happen in Utah?
Look, only about 13% of the state are registered Democrats, but they ran a clever plan. They did a ballot initiative, and Republicans were pretty bad in terms of fighting it. In our state constitution, it says that the legislature is the one that draws the maps, but a judge ruled by herself that, oh no, that referendum exceeds and is more powerful than the actual state constitution, and so she unilaterally drew a map herself.
Incredible.
And it carved it out.
Recourse to that in Utah?
Yes, it's going to take time, but for this next election, they're going to push out. Burgess Owens is retiring.
Jason, I want to ask a question. Jason, so they say that the Democrats here, AOC, all the individuals we just saw on stage, they said they're vowing to keep fighting. But what recourse do they have at this point? Because their Virginia $10 million effort there fell flat. So that didn't work. So, you know, and then they're in a state of Alabama, which went to President Trump by almost 65% of the vote. So what recourse do they have really at this point?
They really don't. Again, I think they're making a fundamental mistake. They're trying to fight against the ruling of the Supreme Court. They're trying to fight. Look, in Virginia, it's in their constitution. So they can continue to spend tens of millions of dollars. But again, they're whipping people up, trying to say it's all about race, even though they've been terribly disingenuous about that and inconsistent. But that does not resonate. I think if you want to stop being, you know, racist, then let's just stop being racist. That's the point
Stop
of what we're
using race as a means to something.
Well, yeah, but the left are the ones who are saying that they don't think minorities know how to go out and get voter ID. So, like, to me, that's
Here's the biggest thing on this, not to belabor it. Birthright citizenship ruling is going to be coming down, and you know what? We got to redo the census based on your citizenship.
Yeah, listen, why don't we keep litigating this on the big weekend show tonight?
Awesome.
I think we got a lot to talk about now. I'm fired up.
Both of them were there last night.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.